How do you make Tunisian knit stitches on the back of the work if you just have a single-ended hook? In this tutorial, I will show you how to make the reverse purl knit stitch, which is the opposite of the knit stitch that you can make with a single hook and working as you normally do, rows flat. You can also use this when working in the round, for example, when you make color work and you want to have the color work to be reversible. I made a sample here just to show you what it looks like, and this is the regular reverse stitches, and on the back you will see that they don't look like the knit stitches because the back of the regular reverse stitch is the Tunisian purl stitch. So if you want your work to be reversible, or if you want to create a very elastic ribbing on the edge of your projects, then you can follow this tutorial and learn how to make this stitch, and I will have a separate video in which I explore the ribbing that you can create with these stitches. Using this same swatch, I previously showed you how to make the Tunisian knit stitches, which you can see here, and I have 4 rows of Tunisian knit stitches, including the foundation row. And you can count that easily by going on the back of the work and counting these rows that are very thick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Or on the front, we can count the V shapes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will make 4 rows of Tunisian reverse purl knit stitches. Why are they called that? Because in Tunisian crochet, when you make a purl stitch, you bring the yarn to the front. So in this case, we will bring the yarn to the front. It's a reverse stitch because we make it on the back of the work, so it will look like the reverse of a stitch that is worked on the front. And also it's a knit stitch because we go between the 2 vertical bars of the stitch below. We yarn over and pick up a loop. That's all. So we have the yarn to the front. For the second stitch, we don't need to bring it to the front because it's already there. And then we go to the back of the work, we insert the hook between the 2 vertical bars, and we draw up a loop. If you want to look at the back of the work, you can also do that, but just keep the yarn to the front of the work and insert the hook between the 2 vertical bars. It's easier to just look at the front of the work and insert the hook. That's all it takes. It's much easier to make than other reverse stitches. And it's much easier, for example, than the reverse purl stitch, which is the opposite of the Tunisian simple stitch. Once the row is complete, we insert the hook behind the 2 vertical bars at the end of the row as we normally do. Pick up a loop, chain 1, and yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have this big ridge on the front of the work, and on the back, if we open up the fabric, we will see some stitches that look like the knit stitch. It's not super obvious yet, but once we make another row, you will start to see this. So once again, we bring the yarn to the front of the hook, we go on the back of the work and in between the 2 vertical bars. We pick up a loop and we repeat this across. At the end of the row, insert the hook behind the 2 vertical bars. Pick up a loop, chain 1, and yarn over, pull through 2 to the beginning of the row. Now you will notice something interesting. If you look at the work from the side, there is an S shape. That's because knit stitches want to curl towards the front because there is a lot of fabric on the back with the big ridges here. But here we have the ridges on the front, so the work curls towards the back. And if we look at the back, we will see the familiar knit stitches. Maybe I should have made this in a different color so you can see them better. And that's it. You can continue like this, or you can alternate them to create patterns. For example, if you work in the round and you make a project that has knit stitches and Tunisian reverse stitches to create a nice texture on the front of the fabric. If you want to, you can use those to make the same nice texture on the back of the fabric. In this case, I used the regular reverse stitches, but if you use the reverse purl knit stitches, you will get, like in this example, the knit stitches on the back of the work. Of course, making a cowl is not a very good application for this because you will only see the front of the work. But if you make, for example, something that's made in the round, like a circle, a square, a hexagon, and you want it to be double-sided, you can use these stitches. There will be a bit of a difference from the regular reverse stitches that we normally use for working in the round with two colors. So that difference is here. When you change the color, you have a little diagonal here. And the same here. You can see it on the inside as well. So there is a bit of a bump. If that doesn't bother you, then always nice. And the thing is that I used cotton for this swatch so that it would show off any problems. But I think even with cotton, it looks great. The one thing you need to keep in mind if you want to make a project with this type of reverse stitches is that they do not have any give. Because on the back you have knit stitches, which are very short. When you use reverse stitches, you have a lot of give here. So the motif on the front will have the first color peeking through. In the case of these reverse purl knit stitches, you don't have any of that. So there's no color showing through between the rows of reverse stitches. So I would recommend this for patterns where you have big chunky motifs like this, not for dainty lines. If you have lines, it's better to use these and not to make a reversible piece. But if you have a big motif like this heart, then I think it's worth trying this method. Of course, the second application will be an elastic ribbing that you can add to the edges of your project, which we will explore in another video. For now, let's bind off in pattern, just so you can see how to do it if you want to bind off with the reverse purl knit stitches. So we bring the yarn to the front again, insert the hook between the two vertical bars of the stitch below, pick up a loop and slip it. We repeat this. It's not easy to do slip stitches like this on the back of the work. And in the last stitch, as usual, we go behind the two vertical bars and slip stitch. And this binds off the fabric in pattern. On the back of the work, you will see the knit stitches. So this is great if you want to make a reversible project and you don't have a double-ended hook, or you want to make more than one of the same row. For example, even if you use a double-ended hook and you want to make 4 rows of knit stitches and then 4 rows of knit stitches on the back, then you would make 1 row of knit stitches and then 1 row of reverse purl knit stitches, again a row of knit stitches, reverse purl knit, reverse purl knit, and I don't know why you would do that, but if you want to, you can do that. It's easier to just work with one hook and choose where you want to make the stitches facing towards you or facing towards the back. I hope this has been a useful video for you and that you will use these stitches in projects going forward. If you want to learn how to make more reverse stitches, I have 2 more tutorials on the channel on how to make the opposite of the Tunisian purl stitch and the opposite of the Tunisian simple stitch. So check those out, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my emails and to the channel if you want to find out when I publish more tutorials. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!